Hey everybody, just checking the live stream here. One second. All right. It says that we're streaming. Let me see how it's looking on LinkedIn. All right. Not seeing. Oh, I see it live. All right. Awesome. All right, welcome to my latest live stream. It's been a little bit. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. This weekend was my birthday, and oh, hey, Katie, it's so good to see you. And I went down to Carmel and got to really enjoy this amazing weather we're having here in the Bay Area. So I hope everyone's doing great. And today's topic is how to build that thriving coaching or advising business. And so I've got some questions that I gathered ahead of time. And but if you have any questions, feel free to toss them into the chat as well, and I will answer them along the way. All right, so I'm going to get started here. So the first question I got is, why do you emphasize relationship building over things like building email lists or complex funnels in the beginning stages of the coaching business? I think it's a few reasons. Based on my experience and those of other coaches, it's first important to establish those meaningful connections with your potential clients. And you need to be having those conversations to really be listening to the words that are coming out of your clients' mouths. And so, because that's gold. That's what you're going to end up using as you design your signature offer and your frameworks. And we think we can design the perfect thing up front sometimes, right? And we just get in our head, but it's really about iteration. And by having conversations with folks, that really helps enable you to actually tune into what are the actual pain points your clients are having, right? And having these genuine relationships can lead to referrals, client loyalty, that understanding of your target audience's needs. And that's much more valuable in the long run than a passive email list or funnel. So that was the first question. And like I said, for those of you who might just be tuning in, I'm doing a little bit of Q&A for any technology leaders who are looking to build their own coaching or advising business. So if you happen to be tuning in and want to ask a question, just toss it into the comments and I'll be answering it as long as I'm live here for the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. So the next question somebody asked was, what does it mean to have a mindset of being fully booked, and why is it important? So what I mean by that is having that fully booked mindset means that you're really making a decision from a place of abundance instead of a place of scarcity. And so I always ask myself, what would fully booked Jossie do? And that really opens up the possibilities, and it helps me shut down things like people pleasing or feeling like I have to over deliver for new clients. And this is important because ultimately your mindset is going to impact your behavior. And if you truly believe that the service you offer is valuable and that there are clients out there who need them, this approach to business with confidence and proactive attitude is going to actually attract them towards you. The next question is, how does taking consistent, imperfect action move the needle forward in starting a coaching business? And I talk about this imperfect action all the time in all aspects. I mention this with my women leaders, but when you're starting a business, It's so easy to get into your head and be like, oh my gosh, I need to create the perfect plan, get the perfect thing out there. And but if you focus on taking consistent, imperfect action, that means you're doing something every single day to move your business forward. And each of those actions is a learning opportunity. And that actually helps you grow so much more than focusing on perfection. It also keeps building momentum, right? So treat it as a journey. It's a playground where you are learning new things, even failures, reframe them as learnings. And it lets you get more input so that you can actually adapt your plans. The next question I received was, what does it mean to offer solutions that solve the client's pain points? And how does that contribute to a successful coaching business? Well, providing solutions to your clients' pain points, it means that your coaching program is going to appeal to them, right? Because you're addressing the specific problems and challenges your clients face. And this actually goes back to the first question about the relationship building, right? Because if you're having those conversations, you're able to get clarity on the pain points. And it ends up connecting with your target audience because you're going to be delivering real, tangible value. And if you can clearly specify, like, oh, I know what your problem is, and really build to that energy, the person's going to believe that you can solve it for them if you can truly identify what it is. And we get so focused sometimes in the solution. What is our offer going to be? But if we focus too much on that, we're usually ahead of our clients in this journey. And they might not even realize that the solution you're providing is the solution for their pain points. And so it's important to start with what are the pain points and really walk them through and guide them to understanding what your solution is, and then helping shift their beliefs to ensure that they realize that your solution can help them solve their pain points. But that's much later, towards the farther end of a conversation. It really starts by the clarity of really understanding what those pain points are. And for those of you who might just be tuning in, welcome. It's so good to have you here. Feel free to pop into the chat if you have additional questions. I would love to answer them for you. And all right, so the next question I received was, why should I focus on high ticket one-on-one coaching clients when you're starting a coaching business? And I think a lot of times people start at the bottom. If you think about this as a pyramid, right? The bottom is maybe your low ticket offer. The middle of the pyramid is your group, if you want to have a group someday, and the top is like high ticket. And a lot of times people think, oh, if people are more likely to buy if I have a low ticket offer. So they start at the bottom. But again, by starting on that high ticket offer, you have to sell a lot less upfront, right? If your high ticket offer is $1,000 a month, and you wanted to get up to six figures, you're going to have to sell a lot less of those than if you wanted to sell a $49 course. And so that's why I think it's important to start with that high ticket one-on-one. The other reason is by starting with that one-on-one offer, you can get a lot of clarity again on what is it that your clients actually need. Because until you start coaching them, you might think you know what they need, but as you progress, you'll start figuring out, what are the tools I can supply them with? How can I truly help them get the solutions that they need and provide them those steps? And while again, you can try to plan that all up front, it's a learning journey. And so by having that one-on-one offer and starting from there, you're able to have not just quicker business growth, but then get potentially more clarity on what your group offer should be and potentially what you might want as an introductory offer. All right, let me look at the next question here. All right, the next question I got ahead of time is, why is it essential to focus on my zone of genius in a coaching business? Well, your zone of genius really refers to your unique skills and experiences that set you apart from other coaches. And truly, there's a number of coaches, right? If you're a technology leader and you want to be coaching other technology leaders, right, you might feel like, well, everybody's kind of coaching in this. But really, your zone of genius is your unique way of helping others. So it's about taking some time to step back and think about, what are my real superpowers? How did I truly get to the level I am today? And what are the steps along the way? And by focusing on what truly is your superpower and your zone of genius, that is going to set you apart from other coaches. And you're going to energetically attract people who resonate with that, right? I think so often we get into this place of fear about niching down and needing to solve a problem for everybody. But if you can really focus on what is your zone of genius, you then get very clear messaging that you can focus on instead of trying to appeal to everybody. Your clients will end up feeling that you truly understand their struggles, and it allows you to carve out a unique niche in the market that nobody else is doing this exactly the way you do. And so I think, again, there's sometimes this place of fear. Oh, I need to be everything for everybody. But it is so important to highlight what it is that is your zone of genius and how do you share that in your unique and special way. And, it's kind of tagging on to the zone of genius piece is, what is your communication style that you enjoy too? Some of you may not want to do lives like this, and that's okay. Maybe you'd prefer to do a podcast. Maybe you prefer doing written articles, right? And so ultimately, it's about really figuring out how you want to show up and then really getting aligned with that being the way that you're going to attract your audience through your marketing. All right, I've got two more, actually, I think one more question here. The last question I have that's from ahead of time is, what's the importance of having a business mindset for success in a coaching or advising business? I say that that's one of the 3 pillars of my kind of coaching framework that I teach other technology leaders who are interested in building their own business. And I think a lot of times, especially in tech, and especially if you're an engineering leader like me, you like to optimize things, you like to build things, and you kind of want to have like the perfect, like, what's one question I can ask? And then, that I've gotten my solution. And so again, we sometimes obsess about strategies and tactics, but mindset is crucial as well, right? You want to have that mindset of abundance I was talking about earlier. It's about having self-belief, right? I think, one of the things that I've realized as I've been going on this business journey is that creating my business has been one of my largest personal growth journeys as well. And I say that because when you start your own business, all of the things that you maybe have put aside and ignored, like people pleasing, fearing setting boundaries, not knowing how to process your emotions, Well, they all come up in spades when you go and start your business. And so it's important to be doing the mindset work. Again, focusing on resilience, self-belief, treating what you consider mistakes and reframing them as learning opportunities. Truly believing that, instead of ruminating on like, oh my gosh, I don't think that conversation went exactly the way I wanted it to, trust that you had the conversation that you needed to. And what are some of the learnings you can take away in case you have something like that happen next time? And by doing that, again, you can show up as the CEO of your business, which you truly are. So then you are empowered. And that allows you to also improve your ability to navigate challenges, attract clients, and ultimately succeed and thrive without the hustle and grind, right? I'm going to talk a little bit about feminine energy and masculine energy here, right? And I think in the tech industry, it's a male dominated field. And if any guys are tuning in, nothing against that. But well, I would like some more equality, but that's for a different conversation. But there's a lot of male energy, which is about the hustle and the grind, right? And just work hard, and that's how you accomplish your goals. But you can also leverage the feminine energy aspects. How do you lean back and be truly open to receiving? How can you get into energetic alignment with the things that you truly want in life? And how do you, get into the mindset of really realizing this is a growth and learning journey and there is no destination. And so the more that you can actually lean into that feminine energy, listening to your intuition, it really helps with growing your business quickly and at ease in 25 to 30 hours a week instead of 60 to 80. And, I talked about mindset, and I think the last thing I'll talk about here is your energy and your self-care. And why am I bringing this up? Well, as a solopreneur, when you are starting your own business, you are your most valuable asset. Because if you're under the weather, if you don't have energy, if you are sick, you can't get your work done. You can't show up for your clients. And so even more so than in your corporate roles, focusing on energy and self-care is crucial for success of the business. And that is having that as your mindset is so important. And so in case, I'm going to see in the chat if I see any other questions here, because that's actually it for all of the questions I have. All right. I don't see any other questions unless Katie, you have something that you'd like to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to wait a moment here and wait for the chat to load up for me and see if anybody is here popping a question in. Let me check on LinkedIn as well, make sure I haven't lost any messages. All right. Yes, all right. I don't see any other questions coming in. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. It was great having a few of you tune in. Thank you so much for joining for another episode of Live with Josie, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And again, remember that imperfect action is so much better than no action at all. All right, thank you. Bye.